Hi, I'm Larry Dignan from Constellation Insights, and we're here with Baker Hughes Sustainability Executive, Marie Merle Caekebeke.
Hi, Larry.
Thanks for joining us, and congrats on winning a Supernova Award.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited.
So, I guess tell me about the project that you had to win the Supernova Award.
Sure. So we at Baker Hughes are an energy technology company. So we're focused on bringing energy forward, which really means looking at the impact that energy has, looking at the environmental footprint, the social footprint as well. And as part of that, we have deep commitments to sustainability. Every 2 years, our company holds a materiality assessment, which is really looking at our key stakeholders, whether it's our investors, our employees, our customers, and we do a series of interviews and surveys just to really understand, do the programs that we have, do our commitments and sustainability align with what our stakeholders want. And as we were doing this exercise, I'm mindful of the fact that it takes a lot of time, a lot of resources on my team, and things in the sustainability space are shifting so quickly that I wanted a way to not necessarily replace strategic engagements with our stakeholders. We're always going to have customer conversations. We're always going to have investor conversations and speak to our employees as well. But I wanted something to supplement it. And so we reached out to our partners, C3 AI, and worked with them to really enable a tool that would be able to help with some data mining and really looking at some key sustainability topics across what we call ESG. Instead of saying environment, we say planet. Instead of saying social, we say people. And then we talk about governance and principles, right? So we looked at those topics that matter to our stakeholders, and we identified what is a way that we can look at the information and weigh it in a way that would make sense for our assessment. And so we identified what was important, right? So I focused more on SEC filings, things that have gravitas, that have weight to them. When you look at social media these days, everyone is a sustainability expert, but when you look at the commitments that they have in their proxy reports, the situation is very different. So I really wanted to focus on that. And the tool enabled us in just 9 weeks to really data collect all of this information to really be able to look at what do our stakeholders expect from us and what are some decisions that we need to make based on those information.
So this wasn't a question of automating, really. This was a question of you just ran out of humans, right? Because all that data is unstructured and all those documents are unstructured. So you almost need something just to monitor things constantly, right?
Yeah, I think so. At Baker Hughes we have a strong sustainability HQ team, and so I had enough humans and employees. What I wanted the individuals on my team to do is really take ownership of sustainability and what are those things that we can implement to move the needle on sustainability and on progress, right? So it's not so much running out of sweat equity as much as wanting individuals on my team to focus on the implementation and the change rather than just data mining. And I felt that we could leverage an engine, a machine, right? But the decisions would be made by individuals, right? So it's man and machine working together really to move the needle on sustainability.
And you're a big C3 customer anyway, so was this a case of just adding on to existing platforms and use cases?
Yes, so, Baker Hughes and C3 has a strong partnership because at the core of everything we do is data, right? You need strong data integrity. You can't measure what you don't, you can't manage what you don't measure. And so we always talk about at Baker Hughes, we want to focus on those partnerships that are really going to align with what we're trying to do as a business, right? So we call them progress partners, and C3 is a progress partner for us. And so it was reaching out, seeing what they had, and then continuing to build together to come up with a solution that would really demonstrate the return on investment and then could translate into some really sound data that we can make decisions on.
Because, if you look at ESG, the E and the G seems pretty solid,
Yeah.
The S is shifting all over the place. And if you're a company, you're sort of like, well,
Yeah.
you kind of want to know where the waves are going.
Yeah.
That's why I asked, basically.
No, that's it's true that ESG and sustainability in general has, I wouldn't say evolved because that's the wrong term, but it is first and foremost like emissions is right in the middle, right? It's the largest thing to tackle. Everyone's talking about climate impact, climate-related risk, right? At New York Climate Week, one of the resonating topics that kept coming up over and over again is you can't decouple the environmental aspect from the social aspect, right? So in areas where communities are marginalized and where they are feeling the deepest impact of climate change is also in many of those areas where you have human rights violations and where you have people that are not making a fair wage, right? And so it's about looking at it holistically, and this tool that we worked on, the ESG tool, enabled us to leverage AI to look at it. And you could draw some parallels, right? As one's going up, the interest in Task Force on Climate-Related Financial Disclosure, TCFD, as climate-related impact and monitoring climate-related impact increases, will so do some other ones, right? So drawing parallels was quite interesting, looking at AI as well.
And what are your plans for 2024? What do you see over the horizon?
Yeah, so 2024, we want to, our team is really focused on the lessons learned that we've learned from this tool. And we want to be able to, now that we have identified as a company, in April we released our full framework for sustainability. So we've been working on projects and initiatives for, over a decade, right? But bringing it all together in one framework, which we called our Sustainability Strategy Framework, means that it can't just be owned by a small corporate team, right? So our focus in 2023 and moving forward in 2024 is making sure that the deployment of our sustainability strategy is well understood, that initiatives are pushed all the way to the deepest level. And I think for me, the analogy I like to give is individuals understand the benefit of safety even when they don't work in HSE, right? So they know that working safely, whether you're in a field job or at a desk job, means you get to come home to your family safely. My vision is that I want everyone to have that same focus on sustainability, understanding the value add, understanding that as members of society, we owe it to the environment, we owe it to communities to understand our environmental and our social footprint. So for me, 2024 is a deeper engagement with employees, all from the top to the bottom, across regions, across all the different locations where we work, and also across the functions, just for people to really understand how they play a role in sustainability.
All right, thanks for joining us.
Great, thank you for having me.